and welcome to Business Daily. Live from Seoul, I'm Han Da-eun, filling in for Lee Ji-yoon. Before we begin, let's get a quick glimpse of today's highlights. The number of non-regular employees at Korea's public institutions soared to nearly 44,000. A snapshot of an off-balance labor market suggesting government efforts may be backfiring. More and more companies are turning to social media online to better promote their products using so-called viral marketing. Still not familiar with the term? We'll tell you all about it. But before we get to that, markets opened on a downward note on this Monday morning with the Korean currency tumbling to a near 4-year low against the US dollar. For the latest, we connect with Eunice Kim. So Eunice, how did the markets close?
Well, Town, the Korean won had slightly recovered, but just before lunchtime returned to the other side of that 1,200 mark. As of markets close about an hour ago, the Korean currency traded at the weakest level in 5 years and 2 months, shedding 10.31 to end at 1,200, 3.71 to the greenback. The benchmark Kospi and Kosdaq both ended relatively flat, although in the red, dropping 15 and 25 basis points respectively on losses incurred by oil refiners and tech firms.
And what are market watchers attributing the trend to?
Well, they're pointing mainly to two things: the deteriorating export outlook, which you'll remember marked a shocking 2-digit tumble in August, 14.7%, and the instability injected by a potential September U.S. Fed rate hike, that decision now less than 10 business days away. Friday's August U.S. jobs report handed an indecisive verdict, according to experts. While the number of new jobs created, 173,000, was well below expectations, unemployment was down and wages were up 2.2% on year.
And what could be affecting Korea's currency in particular?
Well, Talon, experts say the Korean foreign exchange market is already fragile to start with, as trade has been on the decline. And a big sale just went through within the past hour. UK's retail giant Tesco sold Home Plus to a consortium fronted by MBK, Korea's largest private equity fund, for 7.68 trillion won. That's about 6.3 billion US dollars. This would mark a $6 billion capital flight with the sale of the country's second largest discount chain after E-Mart and before Lotte Mart. I'm Eunice Kim with your Market Watch for Business Daily.
And in other news, Korean lawmakers have agreed to put in place a pan-government consultative body that'll exclusively deal with follow-up measures for the Korea-China Free Trade Agreement. The ruling Saenuri Party and the main opposition New Politics Alliance for Democracy, however, are reportedly at loggerheads over when the special body should be formed. The ruling party says the consultative group should be formed as soon as possible, while the opposition claims FDA discussions should first be concluded among parliamentary standing committees before a special body is created. Seoul and Beijing officially signed a landmark deal in June, but the pact has yet to be ratified. The Minister of Trade, Industry and Energy, Yoon Sang-jik, has held an emergency meeting with leaders from Korea's 5 key export sectors to discuss ways to boost competitiveness. This comes as Korea's outbound shipments last month fell by the largest margin in 6 years at roughly 15% due to sputtering growth in China and low oil prices. Minister Yoon sat down with representatives from automobile, steel, shipbuilding, petrochemicals, and petroleum goods. The minister said Korea's exports are currently facing extreme risks and called for businesses to independently find their competitive edge. Yoon added the Trade Ministry will conduct weekly examinations of both export-import performance and ensure related policies are being implemented. He also called on Parliament to swiftly ratify the Korea-China Free Trade Pact. For many in Korea, a position at a state-run corporation is considered a dream job. However, a new report offers somewhat of a wake-up call, revealing that 1 in 10 of these employees are not quite living the dream. Our Kim Min-ji tells us more.
Roughly 44,000. That's the number of irregular workers at Korea's public institutions. According to a state audit report compiled by Representative 심재철 of the ruling Saenuri Party, there were about 270,000 regular workers at 341 public institutions, which means that 1 in every 10 employees are irregular workers. The figure is in contrast to the common perception of jobs in the public sector in Korea, which have often been referred to as dream jobs because of job security and benefits, resulting in intense competition every year among job seekers. At Korail Tech, involved in the construction and maintenance of the railway track of Korea Railroad Corporation, there were 44 regular workers, but over 900 irregular workers. Other institutions with a large proportion of irregular workers are Korea Land and Housing Corporation and the National Pension Service. The report also showed that the proportion of regular workers fell to 67.6% last year from over 70% in 2010. The number of irregular workers also fell about a percentage point in the same period, but this is as companies have been increasing the number of outsourced hires. The lawmaker pointed out that the large proportion of workers who do not receive full benefits is a result of public institutions turning to other methods to bypass labor laws, all while cutting costs. He called for the government to come up with effective measures to create a better balance in the workforce. Kim Min-ji, Business Daily.
Korean cosmetics stand as the second best-selling imported cosmetics in the Chinese market, trailing France and surpassing Japan. Korea's trade ministry says China imported $1.7 billion worth of cosmetics from January to July this year, up more than 36% compared to the same period last year. Sales of Korean brands soared over 250% on year to $370 million, snatching 22% of the market. France, which holds 30% of China's imported cosmetics market, topped the list with nearly $513 million. Last year, Korea was fourth after France, Japan, and the U.S. Industry experts attribute the success of Korean brands in China to the Korean wave, and they expect growth to continue. The government has announced it'll be adding thousands of more state-run rental homes by next year. They're creating more supply by renovating old homes and lowering costs for those looking for more affordable housing. Our Lee Joo-young tells us more.
76-year-old Shin Yeon-jae lives alone in this public rental house. Her monthly rent is only around $37, so she says she's mostly satisfied.
It's a good environment. There's a lot of space between my house and the neighboring building as well.
This is just one of the homes that has been refurbished under the government's plan to offer affordable housing for low and middle-income people. The government has been providing more units by renovating old private homes, and it says it plans to roll out more this year to meet growing demand.
We plan to add 5,000 more units than planned, either for rent or purchase, giving priority mainly to those that struggle with housing, such as the elderly or university students.
How it works is the government encourages homeowners with a house older than 10 years to remodel them into studios or multifamily units by offering state subsidies. It also offers up to $170,000 in loans with an annual interest rate of 1.5%. The entire process, from overseeing construction to running the rental business afterwards, is managed by the state-run LH Corporation. While some say this measure may help alleviate the housing burden for many, other experts point out that it's still not a solution for skyrocketing rent prices, especially when it comes to demand for lump sum 전세 deposits. Lee Joo-young, Business Daily.
Whether it be big companies or individuals, viral marketing is becoming more popular among those who want to spread good word on products they want to sell to the public. And all while trimming advertising costs and staying away from paying top celebrities. To talk about this marketing trend, we're joined by our Kwon So-ah today. Good to see you.
Hi, Tom.
Let's begin with the definition of this particular marketing technique.
Sure. Well, as the term suggests, viral marketing refers to spreading word of mouth on a brand or product like a virus, and not offline but online, and mostly on social media.
I'm sure hundreds of products have used or are using this particular technique to a certain extent, but just off the top of my head, I can think of the honeybutterchips.
Exactly. That was one product that didn't need any TV commercial. Yes, the chips just flew off the shelves thanks to Twitter and other social platforms. And viral marketing makes products more approachable to many, and the opportunity of making a fortune comes more easily to those with the right ideas. So let's take a look at viral marketing going viral.
Along with advancements in the internet and smart mobile devices, online marketing strategies are evolving as well. 1.5 million bottles of this citron-flavored soju, the latest twist on Korea's trademark alcoholic beverage, flew off the shelves in the month after its release. And this, all thanks to consumers who shared their experience of tasting the new drink on social media. The producer of Sunari Lotte Chilsung Beverage says advertising through social networking services was perfect for the distilled drink due to heavy restrictions on TV commercials.
Our strategy was to spread word of mouth by sampling marketing, especially during the beginning of the new school semesters. And then we focused on further expansion through social media.
But even before the company launched its official Facebook page, similar ones created by fans were already filling up the web. One of the advantages of viral marketing is that it's not only big companies that benefit from it. Francesco Nar, an overseas sales manager, is losing sleep these days due to non-stop orders of an organic cabbage soup that's promoted for enhancing people's health and helping them lose weight. It all started with him handing the soup out for free alongside a different product. One of his customers lost around 5 kilograms in a week and posted his results on Facebook. The news spread fast.
Within a month, we had over 1,000 cabbage customers. What is more interesting, that it's not me marketing the cabbage soup, but my Facebook friends that are selling it.
Experts say marketing this way can reduce advertising costs to a fraction of the bill for putting out conventional ads. The method also seems to be more than effective.
A lot of times, I deliberately look for product postings on social media.
I rely on social media to learn more about popular goods, since it shows how people communicate about these things.
And to speed things up, there are even people who act as mediators, like this beauty blogger. Over time, she accumulated many visitors, and this led to cosmetic brands asking her to use their products for free, even paying her to blog about them.
As consumers cannot try out all products such as colors, I do it for them. Blogs are very personal, so bloggers give out information about the good and bad parts of a product. That's why people trust them.
But some say that trust could be taken advantage of, leading to false and exaggerated posts that stretch the truth.
I was disappointed many times after going to restaurants recommended on blogs. I have more trust in TV ads since they seem to be verified and a lot of investment goes into them.
On TV, there are rules set by a broadcasting ethics committee on the use of visual and other effects. Consumers accept that commercials are to an extent exaggerated. We need a similar system for online media marketing too.
Experts also add, in order for online marketing strategies to make further progress down the line, viral marketing should be differentiated from other approaches such as keyword or banner marketing.
So I can see how there have already been some very successful cases, but can we say that the viral marketing is still at a nascent stage?
Well, actually, the professor that I talked to said we are really in the early stages because there are no clear figures yet as to how big the viral market is and how this marketing tactic has been able to produce. And that's why it's important to separate it from the world of regular online ads. And Tan, he's actually the only one here in Korea who teaches viral marketing. And that's why he says that companies are actually desperately waiting for his students to graduate.
And while you're here, Soa, could you perhaps give out some tips as to how to approach this particular marketing technique for our viewers who want to get things rolling?
Well, the blogger that I talked to earlier that we saw actually says that people should just start this as a hobby and not really jump into the business because she actually also works as a makeup artist too. So she started as a hobby and then she got so many good feedback that she started to really earn money by doing this. And she says she doesn't recommend that people jump into the business right away because it's only a small proportion that really ends up making big money with this.
But still, demand is growing for those who provide these services.
And that's also why many companies are consulting firms specializing in this. And experts say that demand will grow, especially as social media has a global reach, meaning with Korea's unique blogging culture and smartphone penetration, it could become a leader in modern day viral marketing.
So if we come to think of it, Psy's Gangnam Style also went viral online on the back of millions of YouTube users. So I guess this viral marketing, although not entirely new, needs some further studying and development. All right, thank you, Soa, for that report today.
My pleasure.
And that brings us to the end of our show. From all of us here at Arirang, thank you for watching.